Hey gang, it's me, Slippy, from before. Now, this podcast contains some heavy stuff. Coarse language and some darker heavy scenes may or may not be featured. Sounds like my on again off again ex-flame Carissa. She doesn't tag any of her content, but content tags for this podcast can be found in the description. S-Man, over and out. Over. Seriously, over.
Let's see, hold on. Last time we hit the bandit captain, blew open up the ships. We got a high tech ship part that goes on the slots out to somewhere on your ship and is a shield reflector. So like any damage you get, it reflects some of that shield back, or some of that damage back on damage, but we have to get it put onto the ship. We also picked up a new sort of cybernetic arm for Cola, who put his arm into a tube and now has it on there. He can't get it off, but we'll see. Yeah, and we got out of the ship graveyard and went to the planet. You folks had the coordinates for this planet, and I sort of talked about how I imagine that space coordinates go. When you're going to a place so far away, I imagine the coordinates are not where it is when you're making this destination in mind, but where it will be, right? Because the planets are always moving, and you don't want to go to the spot where something was months ago when you left. You want to go to the spot where it will be. And so you folks went to that coordinate, and there was nothing there. Not a planet anyway. And you actually spent about a week looking around this area for it, and it took you quite a while to find it. And when you did find it, you discovered that it was in the spot it would have been when you made those coordinates months ago. The planet itself has not moved, and as you come up on it, it is not spinning. In fact, it is completely still. There is a massive machine, it looks like, around it. It has this long sort of oblong body in the center, big, about the size of like a Delta station, and then these two massive arms coming out of it. One goes up to the top of the planet and curves down, touching the pole, and the other goes to the bottom of the planet and curves up, touching the other pole. The planet is still. It is just a still situation. I think this is the sight we see as we begin this time.
I don't think planets are supposed to look like that.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I didn't know you were awake, BBW. It's good to see you, kid. Yeah, I also don't think that the planet should be not moving. That's probably bad for the environment and probably shouldn't live.
Everyone on both sides of the planet,
again.
yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
Can we jumpstart a planet?
And
that is a great idea.
Scan it.
Maybe if the planet were a robot.
That would be helpful.
Oh no, what if the planet's a robot?
Let me see.
BBW, try to talk to the planet.
Just to make sure I just
That's a great idea.
to make sure, let's see if it'll show up on the camera very well. If I draw a little depiction, that I've described it well enough. So there's this that's like a big ship with these two massive arms going to the top and bottom of the
But it looks shut down, right?
Nothing is moving. From your vantage point, nothing is moving. There's nothing, like the machine, the giant machine itself isn't moving, the planet's not moving. I'll even say that on this, like, we're just looking at the situation as a whole, there aren't really, maybe you see a few lights beeping on this machine, or blinking on this machine, rather, but not enough, really, to say that this whole thing is powered, or doing something, like, active.
Is the sun-facing side of the planet, like, all dried up? And is the other side frozen, or has it
Yeah, so this is
not
actually
been holding it still for too long?
a good question. The sun-facing side of this planet is a scorched desert. The opposite side is dark and looks cold and frozen over. There is a band, however, running sort of like a belt top to bottom, 50, maybe about 100 miles in width or so, where it looks like things are better. There's like more green, and like the waters are more blue and things like that. But you guys are still pretty far away.
Weird.
I
do
am
those
curious
correspond
about
in any
this
way
ship.
Do the bands of green correspond with the
Ship.
base thing?
No, I mean by bands of green, I mean that like in this like 100-mile zone in the band around the planet, there are like you can see plant like if you were looking at the Earth from above, it's like the green Earth and not like this scorched desert.
I understand. My question is, where is the band in relation to where the
Does
ship
it
is
line up
hovering?
with the ship?
It's not exactly. No, it lines up with the the like sun facing side of the planet. So there's this like at the point at which the shade starts, there's like maybe 70 miles on this side and 70 miles on this side that are still temperature okay for things to be normally existent, but beyond that on the dark side, total frozen wasteland. Beyond that on the light side, total desert. But you have, like I
I
said,
live in the
this-
heat
For
band.
everyone on the space station to live.
Hmm?
The
That's
good
kind of
band.
cool.
it's still not, I think, ideal for
Well-
the planet, but
I'd like to spout lore on this huge claw ship just to see if there's anything I know.
yeah.
That's a 13.
Damn.
I've seen this before.
Hey, this is actually my uncle's ship.
Uncle Todd, you know that this is technology-wise out of the scope of the back Atmos system. They don't have any sort of like stasis
Planet stopping technology.
This is just sort of out of the scope that you recall, you're digging through your memory, you recall that you read over a file, kind of like a testimony, I guess. Someone came forward with a possible invasive species a number of years ago as the system has been expanding, and they talked to an agent about a passing by spaceship that stopped in and scanned the entire planet and left and continued, and they'd never seen anything like it. It was a long oblong spaceship. There aren't too many details there, but it scanned the thing and left. And then as the ISC agents came out to check it out, there's just nothing. There was no signs even that this ship had shown up. But I think the details in that report and the details of what you're seeing in front of you, this looks somewhat similar. I don't think it did anything in that report.
All right, everyone. I've had a superhuman flash of insight, and what I've learned is that I've heard of something like this before, but that's all that I know. I've heard of this.
If I come up with something, I'll give you a flashback to that file as we go, and I'll say this is from the 13 earlier.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm going to use my 8 here to scan. Not the planet. I don't care about the planet anymore. I'm going to scan the ship.
Actually, from a loose scan of the ship, from your scan of the ship, you see that there are some signatures moving around on the ship, but they register as the sort of maintenance bots of the ship, the regular sort of automated maintenance bots. You can see them moving from like spot to spot. I mean, you watch for a little bit and it seems very mechanical in what they are doing or how they are moving anyway.
All right, gang. There's definitely bots working on the ship. So it's an active ship. Whatever's going on, it's something's going on. But I don't have any scans of anything else, just sort of maintenance crew robots, from what I can tell. What do you think we should do, Captain?
Oh.
Slippy says, looking at Lucy.
I think I'd prefer that we find a planet that maybe doesn't have all this around it.
Yeah, but we need gas.
All right.
We need space gas. Ship does for sure have space gas in it.
Maybe we can get some from the big ship or from the planet and then get out of here, or I'm not 100% sure if we just need gas. I don't know about this big thing or what it's doing, and I don't know that this would be a great spot at the moment to bring everyone we know.
Would we be able to like siphon gas just right out of their tank from outside? Just sneak on over?
Outside what? Outside of the ship in space?
The ship, yeah. We pull up to their ship's gas tank, where their gas tank cap is, wherever they fill up, and we put in a space hose, and we suck it out, and that doesn't work because you don't have gravity to siphon with. So you hook it up to something else to pump it.
I mean,
No gravity or air.
I think much like a Delta station, you know that people aren't like a tanker isn't just pulling up to fuel the Delta station. They're usually fueled from on board, or maybe they have some other form of like fueling cells, solar energy of that kind, but not typically just like a fuel tanker that pulls up and like hoses the station down with gas. You know, as gas as you do at a gas station.
It's got the sponge shielding to absorb gas.
They just sort of spray it down once every 100,000 years or so.
It's like the bottom of a Zippo. You just kind of spray it on that soft, like, wool. Works fine.
No, you could get on the ship probably if we get close enough and you can find it has a landing bay. You could get on it to get gas.
Yeah, I think we got to get on it and get some gas because, like, yeah, I don't know if unmoving ring planet is the best place for us to settle down, but I've stolen gas before, so I can definitely help out with that.
Pretty categorically, I can say it's one of the worst places to settle down.
I haven't seen another place since we've left that would be good to settle down. This at least has about 30% of the planet that looks good to start.
First
The
place
other
we've
places
seen.
that we have been a graveyard of ships. You're right, Lucy. I also don't want to live in the graveyard of ships.
Yeah, I mean, several months out here, and we've only seen the one place that's possibly okay. I'm 8.
True.
I don't
Well,
know
let's get
that
in
I
there and
should
get
be
some
making
gas.
all of the decisions.
Hey, everybody has what do they call that? Imposter syndrome. Don't worry about it, Captain.
No, hold on. I am here for the adventure, but this is only my second adventure. All of you have more experience than me. I should not be captain. I'm just here to be a gunner. And she taps her guns.
I thought you were the pilot,
I'm the gunner.
I drive
I
sometimes.
have the gun.
the captain in critical situations.
This can't be so critical of a situation that I have to take over the crew, though. You guys
You're
still...
clearly the most capable.
All right, let's head over and see if we can figure out a way in.
I know how to shoot 40 people, but I don't know which of those sticks makes this thing go. So I'm not the captain.
Lucy pulls the ship over. The ship is, like I said, pretty massive, a little bit larger than the Delta, the main body of it. These arms coming off the top and the bottom. You give a little, like, kind of a once around. There is an entrance port on either side of the ship and enters into a very, very long docking bay that cuts beneath the whole bottom of the ship.
And seemingly response to our inquiry here.
No, there's nothing. As you've gotten closer, there's been no readouts. I'll say that you've kept up on the scanner, and the readings in the ship haven't changed, save what at their normal, pace.
All right, gang, here's my idea. So I know for sure that there are engineer bots working in the ship. I think if we get BBW in with some of the engineers on the ship, we can just get them to get us gas. That's like their whole deal.
That's true. That is what they're built for. We could just tell them, give us gas.
I don't see why not.
I like the idea of cautiously reasoning with the strange, unoccupied seemingly ship, at least until that stops working.
And hey, yeah, as soon as it stops working, I'll shoot it 40 times.
And then I pull out my gun.
Yeah, definitely. We could see if that works. Are you suggesting to just like send BBW onto the ship to do this, or like do it over the communicators?
No, I mean they can't get us gas outside the ship probably, so we are probably gonna have to go in there
Maybe we could lure one of the robots to us.
and just ring them up. We could use the communicator. We haven't tried that yet.
Like, hey, come on out here. We want to talk. And then the robot just
Yeah,
comes on
like-
out to talk.
I want
Or
to talk
maybe
to
we,
you
like-
outside the ship. Also, you can bring some gas.
Yeah, maybe we just like start pulling up screws and rivets and stuff on the outside of the ship until one of them comes out.
We could try this.
And just grab them.
Yeah. All right. New plan. We put BBW on a rope. Then we lower him out of the ship and we have him start unbolting things. It's his thing. He's the designated rope guy.
That is true.
We could lower.
I'm the designated space guy. Designated rope guy is BBW. This is how things work.
I think if you're a designated space guy, then that makes you you next up on the going out into space and unscrewing stuff list.
No rope though. You're not allowed a rope. We need the rope for BBW.
Yeah, rope's only for BBW. He's the going out on
the
a rope guy.
You
Wish it was-
you get blank space. You're trained in it.
BBW is ready for anything.
Okay, they lower you down on a rope. Yeah, defy danger strength is what this sounds like because you're just trying to pull shit off of this.
That is a straight 9.
You're
I would just punch this thing, I guess.
you punch an area with a couple bolts and with a few punches send them scattered off into space. Up in the ship, you see a panel up near the top of the ship, quite a ways up from where BBW is, slide open, and out of it comes a rickety orb. It is sort of rusty, and as it flies, it's sort of erratic in its path. It flies straight and then hard 90-degree angle and then another hard 90-degree angle towards BBW, but it is closing in on BBW.
They could be friendly.
How
If something
quickly
heads towards me,
to come out and say hi.
do you think it's friendly? Should I let it come towards me?
And what was your question?
Maybe
Gabe?
you command it to
Over-
stop. My original question was how quickly was it flying towards BBW? But I was also wondering if you could just use your command of machines to make it stop in front of you.
Wait, what did you say it was again?
It's like a little orb robot. It's actually probably about the size of you. When I say little, it's little in this the grand scheme of this ship, but it's about the size of you. It's
I
a
don't
little
know
bit
why
bigger than
I
you, I'm gonna
thought
say.
you said something. Yeah, we use my command of robots and 6. So I do not use my command of robots and does not stop. Stop if you're friendly.
Yeah, it zooms right up, and as it gets within about, we'll say like 30 to 40 feet of BBW, it kicks into a higher gear and zooms right up and opens a hole in itself and scoops BBW like a clam and like on a dime stops and then jets right backwards where it was coming from.
Well,
BBW,
Quick,
you're
somebody grab
inside
the
of a
rope.
dark
hi, BBW.
ball.
Cola grabs the rope.
Grab the rope and pull.
Yeah.
BBW's also going to pull on the rope.
Okay, Cola, give me a defy danger strength, I guess.
So glad we didn't put Carl out there with no tether.
Yeah.
Is this part of the plan?
Goodbye,
Yeah.
Carl.
For sure.
Oh, okay. I'll just chill in here then.
BBW from inside this machine, as you I
Anyone
imagine
wanna
that was
help?
over your walkie-talkie. It is entirely static the moment that you've been grabbed by this machine.
Oh, no.
Your old friend Cola's rolled a 6. Anyone want to help?
Gladly. Carl will get in on this.
See that
Get at
aid
least a couple
roll.
tentacles on that rope. That is a 7.
Okay. This machine grabs BBW and jets off. Cola looks around quick to grab the rope and dives for it as it immediately snaps off of its hold as it grows taut. He dives for it and grabs it and is almost ripped clean from the spaceship. Carl shoots out some tentacles and grabs the back of Cola's legs, and there is not even a brief moment of like tautness as Carl grabs that and shoots some tentacles backwards over maybe some of the handholds we've talked about Carl having installed somewhere all over the ship. The rope snaps and Cola's, we'll say, right leg is dislocated from his hip as you two tumble to the
You should
ground
find
in the
that.
back bay, and the rope follows the orb up the side of the ship and with a few more erratic jolts to the left and the right into the space station, back into the hole it came out of, and that little slide like shuts back over.
All right, gang. Now what? Should we just leave? Call it a loss? Shrug and try for another planet?
Try again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Slippy
We
drives into
couldn't
the
even beat like that one robot.
What about BBW? We gotta go get BBW. Guys,
Slippy's driving into the space station.
Yeah, you drive the ship down and into the space station, and you folks enter into a massive, wide, flat docking bay. There are a few ships here, but none of them seem like manned crafts. They all seem long container ship style crafts. None of them have a command bay. They all have this 5 by 5 foot black cube where the captain's seat would normally be, where your command bay would normally be in your ship. And it's just this solid 5 by 5 black cube in that slot. But they're all, like I said, container ships, things like that. And yeah, you fly into this bay. There's a few of those workers kind of trailing around, but you can see they seem as rickety as the ship was. Some of them are missing body parts, lots of plates missing, lots of exposed wires. These guys are erratic as well. Sometimes they'll pick up a box and like walk it 4 feet before just dropping it, and it like clatters to the ground. You coming for a landing?
Yeah.
And nothing changes in this environment. Like, no one turns an eye to you. It's just continues in what it's going on.
Atmosphere? Question mark. They got air here.
Yeah, can we breathe?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good question.
Entering into the docking bay, we'll say you passed over the very traditional field you normally pass over to. Actually, no. There is, upon passing through, you do see the like machinery for that in the sort of door frame, but it is off. And as you land, like, it seems that somehow gravity is intact, but those like atmosphere shieldings are not. And
all right, everyone careful because we don't have any extra suits probably.
Perfect. We had 5 suits. This is good for me. Glad we had a 5th. I have Cookie's old suit. It's a little big for me, but
Oh no.
It smells like friends.
it smells like more friends than it should. Well, I'm ready to go. Let's go find BBW. She takes a big breath and puts on her helmet. BBW, you are traveling fast. You are banging around inside this ball. You can feel the ball like slam into a wall here and there, and you're like thrown up against the wall of the ball. This journey continues for a few minutes, and the ball comes to a sudden halt, slamming you again up against the side of it, and you are stuck. You are here in this dark space. You know you're in this ball, but where is it and what is it doing? You don't know.
He's going to use his command of robots first to, hey, can you open up, please? 10. For me to run that operation.
It does. It opens up. It turns out the opening is on the bottom. And BBW, you fall like 15 feet and into a heap in a dark room. You look around yourself and you are actually in a small holding cell. There is a steel or a metal of some kind door on one side, I don't know, rusted metal walls surrounding you, and then this orb that has opened up above you. There isn't really much going on in this room save that.
Simo's stuck. Can't be in here for long. We're busy.
And the 3 of you, you've just landed in this docking bay.
Okay, so I am going to use my clever detective skills to look for rope fibers in the area.
When did you get this?
To track BBW, because I think this is. Oh, I picked them up on the way. I was reading a Sure Spock Blome's novel, and it gave me a lot of good detective tips. Anyway, here comes the dice roll. That is a 9. Clever clues. Gotta search.
Clever clues. The machine did not pass through here. There is no slots anywhere in the walls or ceilings that this machine could have fit through, save the bay which you entered through, but you know that it entered through its own port higher up on the ship. So it must be further in. With your detective skills, I'll say that you...
What should I be on the lookout for? I think there are questions related to...
Are you discerning realities? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I can't just make like a detective check. There's no detective skill.
100%. You're totally right, and I was just going along with it.
I thought you were rolling your detective ability.
Yeah, man.
You don't have that?
If it's not rope fibers, what should I be on the lookout for?
Okay, you folks you've just exited your ship. You're peeking around a little slowly, trying to get a lay of this land, make sure that you're not going to just be assaulted for no reason. You're watching the way that these bots are moving. There's less of them. Like, if this was a running station, there would be a shitload of them, and they would actually be doing their jobs. Some of them are doing a job here and there, but like I said, they're either bad at it or just erratic or broken in some cases. And there is a moment where there is a bot carrying a long metal beam from one side of the room to the other, and it turns and smashes another bot with it. When that happens, there is a light that flicks on in the ceiling, and a smaller vent opens up, and a backpack-sized robot comes out of it and comes down and straps itself to the bot that hit the other bot with the steel beam and picks him up and takes him off into the ceiling. So you should be on the lookout for causing any damage to the space.
I did not like that.
I don't want us all to be bald because we can't all fit in the same ball. It's going to be a really tough session if it's just 4 of us in separate balls.
True.
The party is stored inside the balls.
Cola Carl?
What if we all destroy things all at once?
And then hug.
Then at least we get to the same place, maybe.
We have no idea if that's the case.
Nope. No fucking clue.
Well,
I'm down to do that, though.
let's-
I'm reckless. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Slippy
I
pulled
kind
out a
of want to
big
see if we
hammer
can.
from his pack of useful items, and he's like ready to swing at the wall. No? Not yet?
What if?
Wait.
Hear me out. What if we go and we find fuel first?
Oh yeah, we need fuel. We should look for that.
Yeah, but I already got this big hammer out.
We can get it back out later. Don't worry.
Later.
We also probably won't need that hammer in order to fuck this ship up on our way to find fuel. We'll figure that out on the way.
Alternatively,
Yeah,
if you just want to,
hammer, I'm gonna use it.
if you just want to hit something with the big hammer, then you can go and try and find BBW while we go look for fuel.
Fine, I'll just pocket the hammer for now.
BBW, you're in this room. What do you do?
My comms working now?
Yes. Yeah, you
you
click it on and it doesn't seem to have that line of static.
Pretty. Well, I'm gonna try to contact our team.
Is anyone there? Over.
Cool has comms.
No.
I don't
one
want to
says
answer if I don't,
anything.
because I believe I.
Nobody answers. That's fine.
I think Carl has a comm and Lucy has Cola's comm. No, Lucy has Slippy's comm. Cola used his comm to blow up the ship. Yep. Yep. Oh, and then and then Cola found another comm, so everyone has comms now. We handed them back out. Everyone's got comms again, except Lucy, but she doesn't need them.
This is ex-agent Cola. Over.
This is future agent Carl. Over. Different agent.
Guy with hammer, Slippy. Over.
This is Captain BBW. Over.
Hey, hold on. I thought I was captain.
You hear?
Oh,
from
I thought
behind
we
her.
were all captains.
Where are you at,
Say over at the end of your message. I wasn't
I thought
talking
that's why
into
we
the thing.
seceded from the union.
Wait,
That's so
if a microphone is being used and I'm talking in the same room, do I have to say over at the end of my sentences, even if I'm not talking?
Always. If you don't know if the microphone's on, you absolutely should just end every sentence with over. That way everyone knows when you're done speaking.
Over.
I mean, we all did.
We got it. Over.
But you did.
Okay, you can't nod and say over because the microphone can't hear you nodding.
I nod and say
You do
over.
have to say yes.
Yes, over. Yeah, Lucy here, over.
Captain.
So what's up, BBW?
Oh, sorry. I was waving. I didn't tell you guys. I'm waving to you guys. I can't see you. Any idea where we are? Over.
Where are you? Over.
Oh, I'm in a cage of some sort. It's very dark. Can't quite see that much.
Do you know where the
Over,
cage is?
push
Over.
No,
I thought you were in I thought you were in a robot. Did they put you somewhere else?
I was in the robot, and then I asked it to open up, and it was very polite, so it did. Turns out it was friendly.
Now you're in a
BBW is
cage.
inside the robot? I thought BBW was the robot.
Wait, so did I use my own ball to capture myself and put myself into this ship?
Well, then get your ball to come back and let you out.
Well, okay, I'll be there soon. Over.
BBW, as you say over, there's a sound above you, and you look up, and the door to your pod closes, and your pod ascends up into the ceiling, and it isn't but a second or two later before another pod slams into its place, and the door pops open downward, and a humanoid robot falls the 15 feet into the cell. You've moved out of the way, I guess, at this point, and it falls into a heap in the cell with you.
What are you?
Stands up and is shaking erratically, like its head is kind of twisting back and forth, and its shoulders are jerking. Its head, after doing that for a moment, snaps still and then directly at you, and it begins progressing towards you. We're gonna move over towards the squad. You're still in this bay.
I can try and discern some realities, looking for signs or any sort of arrows pointing towards fuel. That's a 6.
You're caught up in that there really isn't any signage on this ship. Maybe that is a detail
That's
on its own, but there
alright.
isn't there is one door on one side
That
of the
makes
room
sense.
that leads towards the main portion
Robots
of the
don't
ship,
need signs.
and a portion at a door on the other side of the room that leads towards the back portion of the ship, much smaller portion of the ship than the other.
That works out because based off intuition and just thinking about how fuel lines in ships typically work and, where things are in other ships that he's been on, Arl's going to try to spout lore on where the fuel should be.
Yeah,
It's a 3. It's definitely...
in the ship.
Wait, it should be here.
It's in hammer range.
Look
It's
around
behind
for the
wall.
fuel. It should be here. Shit. All right, I don't know this
No,
shit.
Slippy, and Lucy grabs the hammer. No, she gives it back. Don't hit the wall.
What
So,
if I
well,
shoot the wall?
I'm fresh out of ideas.
so should we head deeper in or to the other door? Or hit a wall with the hammer? I don't like that wall hammer idea. I know that Slippy does have a hammer now, and he's really excited about it, but I feel like we're less likely to find the fuel and more likely to find BBW with that route.
But it's possible that where BBW is somewhere we can only break into and not out of. So if any of us get caught and thrown in there, it could make the situation more difficult rather than less difficult.
You're right.
I agree.
We should just cut our losses and leave.
We still have 4 members of
Do
the
we have any-
crew, she says, putting her hands on her hips.
No, I think we should go deeper. We can at least explore until it becomes too dangerous to explore. Have a look around. Anybody got breadcrumbs or something so we can find our way back, like a marker?
A rope?
No, we use that.
No, I can shoot the ground every now and then, and we'll have black scorch marks to follow.
We don't want to waste the ammo. Hold on, let me just.
Also,
use
that
my
might be
bandage.
damaging the floor.
All right, let's go, guys.
Okay.
Boo!
Who fucking cares?
It,
No!
I'm not here to
You
preserve
have
this
more.
place.
One more thing. And I
But
pull
the
out a loaf of
robots
bread
will come.
from my bag.
You pull out a loaf of bread from your bag. You're
A loaf
going
of wheat
very
bread.
literal with the breadcrumbs. Okay.
And so I'm gonna crumble up one slice of bread, and I'm gonna start leaving our path as we go along.
Okay.
So marching order, Slippy's in the back.
Cola's up front. He's thinking if he hears like engine sound or machine sound, that the louder that is, probably the more likely it's going to be that there's power. We can figure out what to do about that when we get there. We're just going to try and follow the noise.
All right.
You're just gonna end up at like the employee movie theater because they're watching something loud.
It's definitely a risk I'm running, but I can't think of a better way to do this.
Deeper into the ship you go. BBW, this humanoid erratic robot in here, has begun stepping towards you. Its wrists split its hand into 2, and then it begins spinning like a little propeller on the end, and it is holding it out towards you.
Use my command of robots first. I'm gonna have to. Would you please put those away? That is a 10.
With that, I'll say it doesn't work, but you know for a fact it is because this robot has malfunctioned so critically in a way that there is just no communication with it. It is like broken in a fashion that is not like you would have to repair this thing in order to communicate with it. It is just sort of acting on some form of mechanical instinct at the moment.
Oh, interesting.
But you know that
BBW
for
doesn't
a
like
fact
that.
you can't connect with it.
Okay. If I can't control it, I guess I'll die.
It approaches you and swings this propeller arm at you.
No! I'm gonna roll a defy danger real quick.
Yeah.
It's for dexterity. I'm gonna scooch out of the way with this thing.
Yep.
Even if I can't communicate it. 7. Right on that.
A 7. You can either dodge past it, giving yourself a little bit of distance, time to think as it's progressing slowly. This cell is large enough for you to create a decent amount of distance between the two of you and give yourself a moment to think before acting. But in that dodge, past it and distance creator, it'll hit you. Or you can back up into the corner away from it, but it's still going to be right up on you.
I'd rather not take any damage if I can, so I think I'm gonna back away into the corner
Yeah.
to dodge the one blow.
You back away into the corner to dodging this one blow. It is still right up on you, coming in with another swing. You three and Lucy are heading into the ship. As you go, you notice that a lot of this ship is machinery. The rooms are large and big and open, but they're filled with all of this strange processing equipment. Maybe reminds you of like an oil refinery or something like that. Maybe you saw most of you, something similar on the magma refining planet. Some form of refining equipment, but it doesn't seem to be working at the moment as you're going. You've gone through a bit of the ship, and like I said, most of these rooms are this. You found maybe 6-8 of these huge processing rooms, and you make it into a long rectangular room. On the opposing door from the hallway you've entered is a set of double doors. On the right wall is another set of double doors, and on the left wall is just a steel singular door. The room is basic, unfurnished, actually. There are a few windows looking into these larger processing rooms, but other than that, like I said, pretty basic.
Processing rooms looking active?
No, all of these processing rooms seem inactive at the moment. You might see a few of these robots in there doing their, like we've seen so far in every bit of the station. Less of them than you would expect to run this place, and still erratic in their behavior and actions.
Slippy slowly
I'm sort of
raises
feeling
the
this
hammer.
steel door.
Steel door with the hammer?
Maybe let's try the steel door without the hammer first. Just
okay. Well, it's gonna hurt if I hit it with like my hand.
Well, yeah, but we could try opening it.
Oh, I didn't. That's a good idea. We could try that first. Slippy puts his hammer back in his pocket again.
Throw that out there.
Just try pushing on it. Yep.
The door opens just fine. It leads to a maybe 2-person sized freight elevator style elevator, not a freight elevator when it's in a small place like this. What did they? Dumbwaiter, maybe? Something similar to that in size?
I like the little ones.
Service elevator?
Yeah, like a small service elevator. There it is. Yeah, the steel door leads to a small service elevator.
How many buttons in the elevator?
There are 4 buttons. As you're looking in,
5 buttons.
Nothing is
You really
lit in
said
here.
double it, give it to the next person.
You're gonna double it. Give it shit 8 buttons. No, there are 4 buttons.
All right, gang.
What floor are we
Do you
on?
think,
There is no indication.
I can press all
Alright.
the buttons. We'll know which floor we're on if we press all the buttons.
Maybe.
Let's try the bottom button.
If one of the buttons work, we know we're on that floor.
The 4 of you get onto the elevator, and Press the bottom button, and nothing happens.
All right, we're on the bottom floor. Good to know.
Bottom floor. Do you guys want to go to the top?
Problem solving one step at a time. Let's go, team.
Sure.
Top button.
Top button, nothing happens. The next button, nothing happens.
Slippy clicks the other
Okay,
button.
let's.
I wish something would happen. Do you wanna hit them on all this sort of different orders?
Slippy's gonna get out of the elevator.
Lucy gets out of the elevator.
Maybe you can hit the. You could try hitting the elevator with the big hammer.
Slippy gets back in the elevator and hits the elevator with the hammer.
About 10 seconds goes by,
Cola
and
runs and hides.
a slit opens in the ceiling of the big wide rectangular room you were in, and that backpack-sized robot drops down and begins floating towards the elevator and Slippy.
Is Slippy still? Slippy, are you still there?
I think we're all in it still.
Lucy
got
got
back
out of the
in.
elevator. Cola ran and hid.
Oh, then yeah, no, I'm still in the elevator.
When the robot's facing away from Cola, he wants to sneak up on it and grab it.
Hell yeah. One-handed grab from Cola. Give me a Defy Danger Strength.
What's my other hand doing?
It is a tube.
That's a great answer.
That's what it's doing.
Like, is it a smooth tube? Do I have any purchase? Like, if I used it to bear hug, and do I still my hand is numb, but do I still have control over the arm?
Yes. Yeah. You could bear hug with
Okay.
it. Why not?
All right,
Does he
I'm gonna
have
bear
control
hug
of
this
the
robot.
Cool. Defy Danger Strength.
That's an 8.
I think with an 8, you reach your arms out, you grab this robot in the elevator. Maybe Carl and Slippy sit as it's closing in, and you come out from behind, from out in the hallway. I said sparsely furnished, so maybe you hid in the hallway. You run out from the hallway and grip it in a bear hug style. I'll say that it's floating using these tubular arms with propellers on the end, and as you grab it, they lash down over your back, dealing 3 points of damage. But you have it. You have it in a gripped motion. It's sort of flailing these arms about.
All right, I've got it. Now what? What do I do with it?
Well, I don't know. The only robot I ever talk to is BBW, so I usually just have him talk to the robots. And then Slippy just sort of sighs sadly.
BBW, you're in this room. The robot is swinging its arm down at you, its propeller arm. What do you do?
I don't think BBW's ever fought with another robot before. It's like traumatizing. He doesn't know that yet, though.
BBW has definitely fought robots before.
Like a crowd of robots.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I also forgot it. I'll say in this moment.
Right. That definitely was a thing that happened. Absolutely. In that case, BBW suddenly remembers what it's like to fight robots.
Kicks
and
this robot's ass.
beat the shit out of him. He's gonna run an operation to use his laser beam against this guy.
Sick.
Dang it. He got 5.
You also take 5 points of damage. Your laser beam goes off right over its shoulder as its propeller arm swings down and into your side, splitting.
No,
off
I
some
don't
of
think
the
I
plating.
healed after taking damage the last time.
Yeah, no, all of you started this episode off at full health.
Okay.
You took a
That's good.
long rest last time. You can minus
very good.
armor, but 5 damage.
Oh yeah, armor's a thing.
Armor is important. Do remember armor. But it is here. It's right up on you. It's going to try to tackle you into the wall. I need you to give me Defy Danger strength to withstand this tackle.
That's straight 7.
You can
BBW is
either
playing like combat music as he's doing this.
you can either be thrown to the ground but take no damage, or be pushed up against the wall and take damage. Be like shoved forcibly into the wall and take damage.
We're gonna go to the ground.
The ground. It throws you to the ground and is standing over the top of you menacingly with its propeller arms. Carl, Slippy, Cola, you guys got a robot in Cola's grasp, but we don't know why.
Slippy holds up his hammer and he says to the robot, "Where did you take BBW?"
It doesn't respond.
Well, that's all I got.
Cola,
Sorry,
Cola hands the robot to Carl. Hang on to this for a second for me.
Okay.
Carl, give me a defy danger strength. This thing is kind of whipping around. I'll give you a +1 for Cola having it
He's
already.
got suckers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a 9. 10 with your +1. I don't even need my strength.
Oh, okay, great. I was like, that sounds like we just needed it. Perfect. Yeah, you do the handoff just fine. These things, Carl's able to get a hand on the propellers and keep them from whipping around now. So you now just sort of are umbrellaed over this robot.
Okay. Does anyone have like an extra t-shirt or a pillowcase or anything? Maybe? No?
Slippy says, "Yeah, hold on. It does have a complication, but it is a T-shirt that I pull out of my bag."
I
What's
think
the complication?
I think that it's complicated enough that it's a t-shirt with all these holes. It's a big arm-hold tank top, but you have it.
It's a triple XL tank top.
Well, I was imagining putting this robot inside of a pillowcase or a garment and then like using it like a balloon, and it would lead us back to BBW. But I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do that with this tank top.
You just gotta tie some knots. Oh, sorry about that. Let me tie some knots for you.
Nice.
And Slippy ties the because he only has one hand. Have you ever tried tying a knot with one hand?
No, that's why I said nice. It was funny. But
Oh,
now it's
I thought you
less
said,
funny.
huh?
Yeah.
Slippy ties a knot in the like bottom part of the shirt, and then that way we can put it on the robot, and then we have handles.
Perfect. That is a complication, you're right. Yeah, that. I'll just let you do that. You tie the knots in the shirt as you want it, and you put it over the robot like handles.
All right.
Give me a
Lead us to BBW, robot.
Give me a defy danger dexterity, Slippy, to get this thing on the robot without getting whipped, as Carl has to sort of let off of it.
14. I'm
Easily.
a dexterous boy.
Easily you get this on it and hold it like a balloon. Now you want it to lead you to BBW. It tries to float through the air and back up through its port in the ceiling.
Goodbye, everyone.
So hold on. You wouldn't let it take you, but
You'll go with it.
you'll go with it. Okay. That's goddamn
I guess so.
incredible.
Unless anybody stops me, here I go.
So Slippy holds on to his
I grab onto Slippy's ankle like a balloon.
I grab onto Cola's ankle.
What does Lucy do?
Lucy
Tell your
grabs
friend-
onto Carl's tentacles. No. That's amazing, but I think Cola's enough
That's
to
a really
keep the
great
robot from flying away. I'll say that it did pick up Slippy off the ground. So Cola grabbing Slippy's ankles and using him like a balloon is a good way to hold this. But it is just trying to fly through that hole using Slippy as a balloon string.
Slippy's still hanging from the robot. Hey guys, what if we get a bunch of robots?
God damn it.
True.
Like if they can't fit through this hole, then maybe we can make them go in another hole. I don't know how robots work.
Yeah, neither do I. BBW around.
Let's try all the doors and see if one of them is locked. And maybe the robot can unlock it for us.
Sure.
That's
I
gotta
don't
be
know.
Carl at this point because Cola I guess no, Cola has a Slippy balloon. So he really can't open a door because he's got to use his one hand to hold on to Slippy.
I guess I'll start checking the doors.
We have ruined Cola by taking away one of his hands.
This is the dumbest situation.
Wanted to
just
He's like, someone get us the fuck out of here.
Oh my god. Okay. So Carl pops open the other two doors. The door opposing the hallway you came from leads to a large observation bay room. Huge window over the front of the room, looking out over the planet. There are a number of screens here, some cracked, most off, a few on. The other door to the left leads to a huge factory-style room. You've had a lot of processing-style rooms. This one seems to be a generation-style room where there's a lot of like belts crisscrossing the ceiling with all these little T hooks hanging down, and on all of these, it's all stopped. It's not in motion right now, but it looks like it literally just stopped in motion, jerked to a halt at some point. Some of on these like T hooks, there are like these humanoid robots you've seen walking around that are just sort of dangling. They don't seem on. They seem like they're maybe in the process of being built. You can kind of follow that process through this room.
I'd like to inspect the screens for signs of BBW, maybe like security cam footage or something. What's on the screen?
High or low, Cola?
Low.
On one side there's a tower of screens, and two of these are on, and it looks like they are camera feeds. You see one of the robot convention style room that I have just mentioned, and another of a long hallway lined with steel doors.
Fuck, more doors. One of these has to be locked.
BBW, you're in this room. This robot is over the top of you. It is coming in an assault with its propeller blade.
Laser beam! We're gonna try to laser its hands off here by operating machines. That is a 12.
I like that.
Nice.
Roll me damage.
Oh, right. I don't know how much damage it does.
It does your just character damage. Your character has a flat damage dice that you do for every single attack that you do.
Oh, that's just like a D. Oh, it's D6. Okay. +1 damage for each tool you have at one target you're choosing. Okay. That is 9 damage to the robot's hands.
Yeah, you blast off the weapon hand that it was swinging at you. In fact, as it's swinging down, your laser beam blasts right through that arm, severing it, and then also into the chest, sending the robot stumbling backwards into the wall and then dropping into a heap.
Ooh.
9 damage is a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage. Can I take its weapon arm if it's not too damaged?
Yeah. It's a basic, like, elbow to wrist, and then there is a little propeller blade on the end of it.
Sweet. BBW will take this for later. He's going to shove it in with the creature that's inside of him in the vacuum.
Okay.
Sorry, you mean the corpse?
Yes, the corpse.
Yeah, the corpse. You do that. Do you have a plan of action now that you are not in direct combat?
Seeing BBW is going to try to laser beam the bars as well to see if he can break through them.
Oh, yeah. So you have this one, like, steel door in front of you.
Space steel.
But you can try to laser beam the
Steel.
lock. Why not? Steel.
Oh, okay. This is shred. Operate. That's a 13 on the dice.
Well, then I'll say that you can operate. Roll damage.
Let's go.
Actually, no, fuck that. I don't need a damage on this. This is an inanimate object. You fire off your laser beam and it blasts through the lock panel of the door, sending the door flying open. Cola, you watching the feed at this moment actually see that happen on the door. You see one of these doors come flying open, and stepping out into the hallway is BBW.
Found him. He's there on the screens.
However,
Where's
at the
that?
All
end
right,
of
how
the
do we get him on
hall,
the screen?
you see the wall slide open and a ball rolls out of the wall. 3 legs descend from the ball, and then a head ascends from the ball, and it begins clipping down the hallway towards BBW. You guys can see this on the camera.
That seems not ideal.
And BBW, you can
Is
see
it a
this as you've
droidica?
just...
Oh, it's like
Imagine
coming
the
towards me,
shape,
like
right?
at me.
Imagine the droidica shape. I
hope
like
it's
it.
Oh,
I hope it's not a droidica.
no.
We're not prepared to deal with that.
Someone could roll defy danger. I assume there's like a keyboard with these screens. Someone could roll defy danger intelligence to just like tap at the keyboard and try and help BBW in some way.
I can give it a go, balloon
Yeah.
heads.
Steal your communicator and call BBW and let him know that the ball's coming. Hey,
Oh, he can
ball
see it.
coming.
Oh, he can see it.
Carl starts
It's-
mashing at the controls with various tentacles, just hunt and pecking. It's intelligence. Is
Yeah,
what we're going.
I think
That
so.
is a 0, so I got an 8.
Oh, I was like, how you got a 0? An 8. Okay. BBW, you see this down at the end of the hall. You're in a long hall. At one end, you see a metal door, a small metal door. The rest of the wall that you have come from along this hall are lined with these steel doors. You can imagine that they are roughly the same room that you have just come from. At the opposing end from the only other door off this wall on the other side of the hallway, a large ball rolled out of the wall. Some legs dropped down, a head and arms popped out of the ball, and it started walking towards you. This thing is bigger than the bot you just fought.
Oh dear. Command of robots. We're gonna kindly ask it to stop. Well, actually, it's not doing anything yet, right? It's just coming towards me.
Yes, it is just coming towards you at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, big ball.
Okay. I need to make command of robots. And that is a 10 on the dice. So if I could use my command of robots to, I want to ask it to go back into its ball form.
It does that. It drops back into its ball form, and then it begins picking up pace as it is rolling directly at you.
Uh-oh.
It's rolling down the hall towards you, and then all of a sudden you see the wall light up. There's a little light above each of the doors, the one you broke out of. They all light up down the hall, and as it's rolling, one of these steel doors opens directly into it and slams it kind of like a kickball, right? Like it opens up right into it and launches it backwards down the hall, and it slams into the wall, providing more space. Carl, that was your extra effort. You opened up all the doors at just the right moment, knocked the creature back, or the robot back, but it is beginning to roll towards you again. It's slower now, so as it hits the doors, it's just like slamming them back shut, right? But it's coming down the hall at you. But now you have more space to run, I guess.
So it's coming at me, and which direction can I run again?
So you're in basically like the middle of this long hallway. On the wall that you have come from just now. Basically you would imagine all of the same room, just a bunch of those doors. So this thing is coming at you. It's rolling at you. In the other direction away from it, if you ran away from it, there is a steel door on that wall as well.
Okay, I'm gonna run towards that door then. And I'm gonna use my commands of robots again to try to open that door. That is a 7.
A 7. You connect with this door and you know that it's out of power. In order to get it to work, you will need to provide it power. In this moment, because it's so fast, you don't really have time to like break down a spell. It's gonna have to be 2 health.
All right, we'll do it. Open the door.
You run up, you touch it, and you feel the energy zap from you quickly, and it opens, and you find yourself in a small elevator shaft.
Oh, I'm gonna press any of the buttons.
Oh no, you're in the shaft of the elevator.
Oh, in the shaft, not the
elevator itself.
Well, I'm just gonna try to hide then.
But you can press the buttons on the outside of the elevator if you want to try to move it. It does seem like it has come on since that door opened.
We're gonna call the elevator and then wait on the ceiling.
Okay, you crawl up to the ceiling. You're waiting on the elevator. You 3 hear the elevator begin to descend down from out in the room behind you. BBW, you've crawled to the ceiling. This robot is rolling faster and faster towards you, just plowing through those doors. Carl, Slippy, Cola, what are we're seeing this kind of on the cams. BBW is like basically hiding in front of the cam now, up on the ceiling.
Hey, BBW, it's the S-Band. S-Band with a hammer.
Yo.
You just call the elevator? Over?
Yep, I just called the elevator. Over. Are you inside the elevator?
We're on the first floor, maybe.
Well, as long as you're on any floor, I think I'll be able to find you.
We're on one of the 4 floors.
Thank you for the help, S-Man.
The ball reaches below BBW, if there's nothing for you folks to do, and stops below you. It projects a small rod from the top of it, and you see arcs of electricity begin to spark up on this rod.
Will electricity be dangerous? Laser beam. Can't go wrong with that. Right? 7.
A 7.
Yeah, 7. So operation runs, but one of the following happens. Machines drain of power, operations cancel machines, or draw unwelcome attention.
You have so much unwelcome attention. I think your machines are scrambled, giving you a -1, but it runs fine right now. So roll damage.
Nice. 7 damage to that robot. I want to try to like laser off this beam, the electric rod again.
Yeah, that's perfect. As it ascends this laser rod, your beam hits it, breaking it off. The robot, I guess, then begins unfolding back into its standing state and pointing its arms up at you. And it there's like a speaker somewhere on this thing. Its mouth doesn't move. It's not like it's talking. It's just like a re-recorded message. It says,
Please return to your cell.
I didn't order that cell.
Okay, you see. Awesome. It fires off a ball of energy from one of its arms at you. This is thicker than your traditional plasma shot that you've seen. I need you to give me Defy Danger. Constitution if you want to just try to withstand it, or Dexterity to dodge it, unless you have a way to think your way out, and then you can use a mental stat.
I think I'll just take the hit with Constitution.
All right, Defy Danger Constitution then.
It is 8 with Defy Danger.
I'll do a reduced damage on 8. You take 3 points of damage, BBW. Not through armor, but you just take that.
Right.
Carl Cola, is there any way that you can provide assistance to this situation? Either over comms or through more button pressing, or I'm just curious. I don't want it to just be on BBW.
I'm always happy to try a sporadic intelligence button press.
And I'll say now you know the elevator is working, so you know that shaft is open. You don't know how far down it's going, but another path.
But we could probably just call the elevator back and well, we still don't know what floor he's on.
You just know he's below you.
On. Well, button pressing. That's a 7.
Okay, so Cola reaches forward and presses some buttons. This thing is about to launch another ball at you, BBW, and then you see a surge of electricity, and all of a sudden its head pops down into its body, and now it's sort of clanking around on its legs with its arms pointed out in random directions. It seems that that's its sensing property, but its head jammed down into its body. Cola, you pump your fist in cheer for a moment, and then realize that in order to press that button, you let go of your Slippy balloon, and now you guys are in this observation bay. But you're in this observation bay, but it is bumbling around in the ceiling trying to get towards the door. So now you have to deal with that.
He ate the fizzy lifting.
I'm gonna jump for him.
Fuck yeah, dude. Defy Danger Dexterity to jump for him. This is such a fun image in my head.
Can I argue for Defy Danger Strength? I'm just looking for height. I'm just trying to jump straight up.
Sure, why not?
That's a 10.
Okay, you retrieve him just fine. You jump straight up and you grab his ankles. I'll say the first time you jump up, you knock his foot down a bit, giving it that bounce like a balloon, and then you jump again and grab his ankles before he gets out of your reach, and you have your Slippy balloon back.
I meant to do all of that.
BBW, this thing has descended into its body, and it doesn't seem like it can see you very well, or if at all at the moment. What do you do?
I'm gonna go into the elevator shafts. I'm gonna crawl along the walls and wait for the elevator. That's enough of that.
The elevator has been descending this amount of time, and as you go to crawl in, it's like a shutting door for you. So I need you to give me a Defy Danger Dexterity. Get through there quick before the elevator descends.
10.
That's ideal. You slide right in and to the side in the empty space in the elevator shaft as it does descend, and then you're able to use the walls and climb up on top of the elevator. Now that you're in the shaft, you know that you're on the lowest floor. It doesn't go down further than this elevator.
Nice.
What do you do from up on top of the elevator in the elevator shaft?
Is there like a door I can open to like get inside? Yeah, I should probably get inside.
You open the top hatch and you wait a few moments for the actual elevator door itself to close, and then you drop into the elevator. You are on the bottom button on the panel of 4 is lit up.
Very cool. Oh, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and go up to the top floor and hope that's the right one.
You go up to the top floor. It takes a few minutes. It opens up into a very large, very wide room. It actually goes so far down the room that you're having trouble seeing the other side of the room. Very vast room. There are huge collection vats of some kind spanning this room, and tons of like steel tubes crisscrossing the tops and the walls of the ceiling leading into these big vats.
I'm gonna go over comms. Are you guys in here? Here.
Exactly.
Do we see a way to get to where he is from where we are?
I'll say you heard the elevator move up past your floor.
BBW, you went too high. You're too high. Over.
Do you want to go down to the 3rd or the 2nd floor?
We're gonna try the 3rd floor. It's too high.
Down into the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor opens up into a room not too different, but it is all of these different styles of mechanical funnels in the ceiling leading down into smaller boxes that you can see some of these sporadic robots coming and picking up here and there and leading to a larger set of double doors in the back of the room.
Are you guys in here? Over.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, you're not in there.
Nope. Oh, sorry. We're not in here either.
Oh.
Only one floor left to check though.
And
All right, we're going on up. Yeah, we're gonna go.
it opens up and you see your team. You see Cola holding Slippy's ankle, bumbling against the ceiling with one of these robots. Carl standing next to them, and Lucy with Carl hanging out. And
are you guys in here? Over.
Nice.
Yes.
Yep. Like facing the opposite way.
Found us.
And you folks link back up in the observation bay, just because it's the prettiest one for me to imagine. Big window looking over a planet. And we're together again.
We caught a robot.
We are keeping the captive. The captive is staying in the Blake feeder.
We caught this robot, BBW. You think you could ask it where the power is? Take us to the
ask
power.
For gas.
Ah.
Or he gets the hammer.
All right, we're gonna threaten this robot with my command of robots. That is a 10, 12. I'm gonna say if you don't tell us where the power is, you're going to get the hammer. And I kind of want the hammer.
You are transmitted a layout of the station. It's pretty sparse in terms of like actual walking paths. Most of this giant station is like the machinery to keep it running. You've seen these floors at this point. The top floor is the main collection floor. The floor right below that is like how it is dispersed into like away from these vats and into an actual storage container. All the other rooms you've seen are like the machinery to keep all of this running in the station. The
entire thing is just power.
The entire thing is collecting something. But when you were up on the collection floor, I'll say that it wasn't running. And on the 3rd floor, you only saw drips of whatever it was creating coming out of these funnels. They're still moving through the processes of this thing, but they're not like these boxes are being filled to the brim and then they're being grabbed and whatever. There's just like drip drops. Some of them are completely empty. Some are just being moved around. The station bay back from where you guys came from, and then the other door would be like their fuel tanks and their storage where they store and fuel this ship. Cool. So we have a layout of the ship and a stooge-like entrance to it. We'll come back next time. Slippy's a balloon. We have to remember that.
course.
And we're looking for fuel for our ship.
And lucky
Hopefully.
for me, I did get to use the hammer this episode.
And you did get to actually use the hammer. That's cool because we'll for sure forget about it next episode.
Didn't accomplish anything other than making me into a balloon, but that's perfect.
A threat. You got it. You got a very solid threat with the hammer.
What about the not with the hammer?
Also remember that the next
This
whatever
pizza
item
has
you
zero meat on it.
whatever item you pull out of your bag next has a complication. So on to end of session questions. Did we get an item or notable? Sorry, did we get a notable treasure?
No.
BBW did.
What is
Freedom.
Oh, you got that arm? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Did we overcome a notable enemy?
No.
Not really.
Not significant.
Just a couple of bitches. That's all.
I'll say you might have died to that one if you didn't have ally help and a way out. But you had both those things and escaped pretty quickly. It wasn't like a big drawn out fight. So,
Thankfully.
did we learn something new or important about the universe?
No.
Probably
If we
not.
could say what they're collecting,
really,
maybe,
no.
but I don't think so at this point.
Not yet, right? It seems like there's something to uncover here, but we haven't gotten there yet. Any bonds? Anyone complete a bond? Or anyone have a bond they want to like alter to fit our new team?
Always wanted to hold Slippy like a balloon.
Mission accomplished. I say maybe it was like me and Lucy with our hints of and little references to Cookie. I might tweak up on that. Be like, hey, we should make a perfectly ethical birthday cake together.
Yeah, think up on that and see how that sits for you with Lucy. Because I can agree there might be some like connection of bonds there. She was bonded with Cookie and you were bonding pretty hard with Cookie before she died. So okay, and then any alignments. I don't want to forget them.
Not really.
I don't think so, no.
I don't believe I escaped a sticky situation. I just sort of put myself in many.
I can agree with that. Okay, so no end of session experience this time. But we'll come back. We will
roll.
check out the fuel in this station and make a new plan on if we want to combat any form of this situation or leave and find a new planet.
Fair.
I'm gonna come up
Whatever's
with a backup.
going on here, don't like it.
I'm gonna come up with a backup planet.
It doesn't look good out here.
And I'll say when we got here, I didn't have one. So I'm gonna come up with one now. Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice Delta Dawn is DM'd by myself, M. Williams. Players this season are Dante Quiles playing BBW, Gabe Stringer playing Agent Hyatt Cola, Lawrence Jennings playing Tombleson S. Slippy, and Lily Ayers playing Carl the Octopus. We have full launched the Instagram page to show off past clips and art that the players of the table are a part of making. Just go check us out over there at DDADPOD. That's DDADPod. You can find us on X.com under that handle as well to keep up with other news for the podcast. We appreciate you listening in on this episode. The next episode will be up October 12th. See you then. To make sure, let's see if it'll show up on the camera very well. If I draw a little depiction, that I've described it well enough.
We've covered that sound can travel in space, so you could just roll down the window and yell at the planet, right?
The
Hey, are you a
sound.
robot?
You a robot? Start spinning.
If you're a robot, spin now.
Okay, let's see if my camera picks this up. Oh god, it is. Okay, just focus. Oh, you're gonna fucking.
You know what?
How are you gonna blur
It's
out
gonna blur
the
it.
thing in the middle? That's so fucking annoying.
This is why I don't use that
Do a
blur shit.
circle- Do a circle with your
More
hand
time.
around it.
Oh, you know what? It's worth the challenge. It's definitely worth it. All right, let's see if it works. Where is it? Okay. Let's see. It is. I'm blown away by this.
Oh, so
See, I
like,
know
there's like a hand
technology.
around it.
Basically,
It's not the planet's not the
imagine
technology.
this, but there's no human hand
So we definitely
surrounding.
shouldn't go on. We definitely shouldn't go on the planet.